I'll tell you how this transpired. Megyn Kelly tweeted her episode and said, listen to Charlie in his own words about what he was going through. And for whatever reason, Florida Dab, which is one of these like Zio bot accounts that constantly tweets in favor of Israel, wrote this to Megyn. We can pull this up. He writes, if you can't separate yourself from Candace Owens, many of us are going to separate ourselves from you. Like, she didn't mention anything about me. He says, we do not have to align with everyone that claims to be of the right when their motives and history are as shady as hers. Megyn Kelly and I have no attachment. So the idea that he's demanding that she make a statement against me is insane. She replies, she holds the line. She says, look at this. No, I have no obligation to, quote unquote, separate myself from anyone. I run my own media company and my own show. That show is where I express my own opinions and I will decide what and what not to opine on. If you need me to condemn Candace or Tucker for their opinions in order to listen to me, then I may not be for you. He's a close friend and she is under enough pressure without gratuitous shots from me. My fight is with the left, not these two. Like, kudos to Megyn Kelly. Like, what? And yes, she is friends with Tucker. They've been friends for a very long time. And yeah, I'm kind of taking a lot of bullets right now. So I thank you, Megyn, for not just taking a gratuitous swipe because I'm breathing over here. But it's not enough. So then they bring the other agent, Constantine Kissin, which, by the way, there's going to be a day where I just release everybody's family genealogy. His is astonishing. But these are all agents of Israel. Let's be very clear. Constantine Kissin then jumps in and says, here's the problem. He's a free speech warrior, Constantine Kissin. The problem with this approach, which many on the right are taking, is that this is exactly how the left allowed in its own extremists, so we're extremists, to first flourish and then to become the face of the entire movement. If you agree with Candace and Tucker, people will respect that. But to many of us, their behavior is so extreme and so deranged that the idea that it can be simply ignored because your fight is quote unquote with the left doesn't wash. You have always been a great, principled, truth-seeking journalist. So to many of your admirers like me, the question might be, if you agree with them, fine. But if you don't, why isn't your fight with them? This is almost verbatim. It's like scary to me because I'm like, this is like military training. Almost verbatim, a text message that I received from Marissa Streit when I like retweeted Max Blumenthal, I think once, when he said something that I totally agreed with. And then like all of the agents, like Dave Rubin, all of them are like, don't you see what you did? And they make it think you're going crazy, but they kind of pretend to be your friend. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Like I just said, genocide is always wrong. I just retweeted Max Blumenthal, something he said that was sensible. And they come in and they're like, I understand what you're doing. I'm your friend. But I worry that other people are going to see what you're doing and not understand. And it just, I want you to be okay because we're just wondering, like, we all agree that that's bad, right? So why don't you just say what I'm telling you to say, Meg, or you're going to get it. We're going to ruin your effing life. That's the subtext, Meg. That is the subtext, Megyn. I can promise you that. I lived it. There's no halfway with these people. I'm telling you, there's no halfway. She didn't do anything. She shared her episode and said, if you want to hear Charlie Kirk in his own words, here it is. That is literally what they are responding to. And now they're going to pretend to be her friend. So she responds to him and she says, the more one insists that I say what one demands me to, the more committed I get in my refusal. This was Charlie. He was like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm digging my heels in because they know what this is. Okay, Megyn is an adult. She's also quite brilliant. She's not going to fall for this, should I call it babble, right? Constantine Kissin. And you're sitting here trying to, I love you so much. She's like trying to manipulate a toddler. She's not stupid. And he says, I demand nothing of you. And in coming from a position of great respect, I'm simply asking why it is that you don't believe that lies told by prominent people on the right shouldn't be challenged in the way that we all challenge lies told by people on the left. And she said, your response proves the opposite of what it purports to. She sees right through him. Of course she does, because she's not a child, okay? This is how the agents work. They pretend to be your friend. And I'm telling you, if she doesn't buck, because that's what they want, we will whip you and you will buck. And you will buck by making a strong statement against Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson when we demand it. Then they will send the next layer, which is a full-blown press attack. The press that they do not control, by the way. They do not control the press. That's anti-Semitic. I want to be very clear. They don't control it, but they will control it when they come after her if she doesn't do what they say. Watch that space, you guys. Watch that space.